Hello everyone, this is The Last Word and I'm Maria Shakil. BJP MP and Joint Parliamentary Committee member Nishikant Dubey has raised questions over the deluge of responses received by the Parliament Committee scrutinizing the Waqf Amendment Bill 2024. Writing to the Chairman Jagdambika Pal, Mr. Dubey sought a probe into the possible involvement of fundamentalists and foreign entities flooding the committee with its feedback. This comes just a day before the Parliamentary Committee is set to embark on a 5-state mission where it will be gathering feedback from multiple stakeholders. The Congress, in fact, responded, terming Nishikant's comment as a mockery of democracy. We'll be getting you the panelists in just a bit, but first up, here's the report.
Another war of words over the Joint Parliamentary Committee on the Waqf Amendment Bill. A letter to the chairman of the JPC by BJP MP Nishikant Dubey has triggered the latest row. Raising concerns over the nearly 1 crore feedback submissions received by the JPC, BJP leader Nishikant Dubey has called for a probe into their sources, including in the possible role of Owaisi and China. The opposition has vehemently called out Dubey's claims.
ये लोकतंत्र के मजाक उड़ा रहे हैं। उनको लोकतंत्र में विश्वास नहीं है। अगर इतने बड़े देश में से सिर्फ अगर 1.5% लोग ही अपना ओपिनियन जाहिर करते हैं, इसमें भी इनको दर्द होता है। हर जगह पे जबरदस्ती लोगों को रख के कह रहे थे कि ये व्हाट्सएप पे है, ये लिंक क्लिक करो, ये ईमेल करो। तो हो सकता है बीजेपी के चट्टे बट्टों ने जो किया है उसका असर निशिकांत जी को हुआ होगा।
Minority Affairs Minister Kiran Rijiju responded by saying that a large number of submissions to the JPC cannot be seen as a matter of concern.
कितना मेल किस परिस्थिति में और कैसे भेजा है वो JPC ही देखेंगे। हम तो सहयोग करेंगे, JPC का हम सहयोग करेंगे। JPC से हमने अभी रिपोर्ट लिया नहीं है। ये JPC के अंदर में क्या हो रहा है वो मैं अंदर जाकर के छानबीन नहीं करूंगा, क्योंकि वो हम नहीं कर सकते हैं। हमने JPC बनाया और JPC कुड एम्पावर्ड जॉइंट पार्लियामेंट्री कमेटी है। उनके रिपोर्ट आने के बाद हम फिर देखेंगे।
AIMIM chief Asaduddin Owaisi accused the BJP of spreading false propaganda over Waqf properties and their administration.
ये एक झूठा प्रोपेगेंडा BJP, RSS ये कर रही है पूरे देश में कि वक्फ प्रॉपर्टी जो है वो एक प्राइवेट प्रॉपर्टी है। बीजेपी इसको ऐसा बता रही है कि ये गवर्नमेंट प्रॉपर्टी है। आप मेरे को चाह रहे हैं कि कोई लेटर लिखा चेयरमैन को, वो कमेटी का हिस्सा हो गया। अभी हम उसको कमेटी में बात करेंगे या नहीं करेंगे वो कमेटी का चेयरमैन तय करेगा, हम तय करेंगे।
Sources told NDTV that the joint parliamentary meeting, which was held on September 28th, Zakir Naik's name was mentioned, which led to heated arguments between the BJP and the opposition MPs. Now it remains to be seen that the demands of MHA probe regarding submissions by BJP MP Nishikant Dubey will be accepted or not. With the journalist Sanjay Kaushik, this is Aishwarya Jain for NDTV in Delhi.
We have Professor Faizan Mustafa, constitutional expert, Pradeep Bhandari, spokesperson of the BJP, Danish Qureshi, representing the MIM, and IP Singh of the Samajwadi Party. Let me begin with Professor Faizan Mustafa. Professor Mustafa, the process of feedback is very integral for any lawmaking in India. Then why should this kind of theories or processes be seen this way? You know, why raise questions on the process?
Maria, since I myself was invited by JPC and I appeared there, so it will not be in the fitness of things for me to really speak on JPC, so to say. Am I audible?
Yes, sir. Loud and clear, sir.
All right.
Okay.
You see,
yes.
JPC for any bill, forget about the Waqf bill, for any bill is a better process. because in the general house of two houses of parliament, political parties don't have time to go into the deeper issues which any lawmaking would involve. And therefore, I think that for almost every bill, we should go to the select committee or JPC, and one must appreciate and welcome the government's initiative that the government on its own referred the matter to JPC. Now, JPC in a democratic way invited the opinion of the people, and it seems that over 1 crore responses have been received. Now, my take as a constitutional law teacher on this is slightly different from the political positions which those who favor the bill or who oppose the bill may be. Because, you see, while it looks very good that the general public participates and gives an opinion on any bill, and I had said it even about the Lokpal bill when Kejriwal led, opposition was asking for the Lokpal bill and what clauses it should have. I had written at that point of time also that lawmaking cannot be done on the public streets. It is to be done in the parliament, it is to be done in the select committee and the JPC. Now, when you invite people's opinion on as contentious a matter as Waqf, I have seen that there has been a counter mobilization from both sides. So there were people who were asking that you scan this and say we welcome the bill, and there were people who are saying you scan this and click this and reject the bill. In both the positions, even though the exercise is absolutely democratic and people's participation in lawmaking is welcome, yet if you are receiving a feedback of the people who really don't understand what is there in the bill, I think it is not of much significance except the numbers in favor of a bill or in opposition of the bill. Basically, it should be the opinion of people who understand law drafting, who understand the implications of law, which should matter more. And therefore, I think the JPC is doing the right thing, that it is going to different states, and I am sure it is going to talk to all the stakeholders.
Okay, Professor Faizan Mustafa, before I bring in the politicians, I would rather wrap up this conversation with you with another question here, sir. So you are saying clearly that, it may not be in the fitness of things to involve public at large, given how polarizing this bill is and how divided the public opinion is. Then how can the entire exercise be completed if, if it is largely seen as those who are self-appointed stakeholders? In many ways, the view is that why should, Muslim Personal Law Board and other such bodies express their views when they do not really reflect the larger sentiments of the community?
No, I am not saying that I am opposed to this public opinion being asked. My response was much more nuanced.
Yes.
I am saying public response is to be collected, that is good. But if public response ultimately leads to a kind of a public campaign that let us vote for rejecting the bill or let us vote for accepting the bill, then this is not good for the lawmaking, because people are saying yes or no to the bill without at all knowing about what is the content of the bill. That is what I am saying. Okay. I am not opposing.
No, sir, I understand that. I understand that, Professor Mustafa.
Can't be saying that people should not be involved in this.
No, I understand that, Professor Mustafa. Yeah. But if those who do not understand, but they have voted for or against this bill, as is the case, perhaps given the kind of response that it is getting, then why? Then how should that be seen? I mean,
no. You see, on number of such issues, overwhelming responses were received because the issue was so contentious. Now, kindly recall when in 2018 or even after that, when the Law Commission invited opinion on uniform civil codes, then crores of people responded that we don't want a uniform civil code. I'm not disputing the validity of those numbers. What I'm trying to say that JPC is not going to decide only on the basis of number of responses received in favor or against the bill.
All right. Professor Faizan Mustafa, thank you for sharing your thoughts on this. Now, let me bring in the politicians. Pradeep Bhandari, you know, the argument being made here is a valid one. And for your party MP to take it in a direction completely undesirable, many are saying, and also, you know, many would agree with the argument being made by the Congress party here that if there are so many stakeholders in democracy, then why should they be mocked if they are sharing their views?
Well, Maria, good evening to the viewers of NDTV. Maria, the intent of the government has to be understood from the fact that the government has welcomed the JPC and the government, in fact, on its own voluntarily proposed the JPC. This is a government which is absolutely not against democratic opinion and welcomes public opinion. However, let us understand the fact that he is an elected member of parliament. He is not a first-time member of parliament. He is a member of parliament who has repeatedly been elected by the people. He must definitely would have had certain facts in his possession which made him believe that there might be certain anti-India elements who could, in a situation, completely change the democratic process in which the opinion is taken for the Waqf Act. Now, you remember very clearly that Zakir Naik in the past has said and has made his statement and intention very clear on Waqf Act, where he in fact said an industrialist building also belongs to Waqf. Now, I believe an investigation or the inquiry which the Honourable Member of Parliament is asking for should be welcomed. He is not dissing the entire process. He is just putting certain facts which might be in his possession. Now, it is for an investigation to see whether what his facts are mere concerns, that those are mere fears, or they hold certain tangible ground. Okay,
then in that case, Danish Qureshi, as a member of the JPC, if a member is raising concerns about the kind of responses that you know, the JPC is receiving, then why should it be looked at with suspicion?
Well, this is not about the suspiciousness. You have to understood first of all, you have to understood that each and every citizen should be cared by the federal government. Now the problem is that with this federal government is you saw a QR code movements against the Waqf Board bill. A number of organizations have served the QR code to the Muslim community. After that, we saw that RSS and affiliated organizations also started to make a counter. If we talk about the owners, we can see that clearly that they are not having any, they were not even the part between the central government, federal government, and the citizen, Muslim citizen. Even then, they want to make a intervention in that. Once again, Bharatiya Janata Party, a member of Bharatiya Janata Party wants to create a
but Danish, you know, if it is about that the integrity and the independence of this legislative process should not be compromised, and that is being spoken with sincerity, and this letter has been written to the chairman of the JPC, then why should it be about the BJP versus the opposition? Why shouldn't it be seen that Mr. Dubey is part of this committee which is, you know, involved in this entire process?
निशिकांत दुबे, देखिए निशिकांत दुबे क्या कह रहे हैं? निशिकांत दुबे ये कह रहे हैं कि ये जो पूरा प्रोसेस हुआ है, सबसे पहले तो ये डेमोक्रेटिक प्रोसेस का पार्ट ये होना चाहिए था. व्हाट इज द डेमोक्रेसी? डेमोक्रेसी ये होनी चाहिए थी कि पहले मुसलमानों का या लोगों का, जो लोग इससे अफेक्टेड हैं, उनका ओपिनियन आना चाहिए था, उसके बाद जाना चाहिए था पार्लियामेंट के फ्लोर पे. लेकिन भारतीय जनता पार्टी हमेशा से इस तरह की पॉलिटिक्स करती है, इसलिए उन्होंने पहले बिल पेश कर दिया और उसके बाद जब हंगामा हुआ तो पूरा मामला चला गया जेपीसी में. जेपीसी में फिर वो वही काम करने की कोशिश कर रहे. देखिए अभी एक जो पैनलिस्ट थे जो ये कह रहे थे कि जेपीसी जो है वो एक ज्यादा अच्छा बेहतर स्टेज है जहां ऑपोजिशन को एक स्पेस दिया गया कि भाई इस पूरे मामले को देखा जाए. लेकिन इवन दैन वो क्या चाह रहे हैं। वो यही चाह रहे हैं कि सबसे पहले तो उन्होंने लोगों का ओपिनियन नहीं लिया। अगर लोगों का ओपिनियन लिया होता, सुनिए, अगर लोगों का ओपिनियन आ गया होता तो मुझे लगता है कि ये 1 करोड़ मैसेजेस जो आए हैं ये पहले ही डस्टबिन में जा सकते।
have been that this entire process should be investigated, that to understand the nature of submission. He has of course said that there could be involvement of certain foreign actors, the ISI, even radical organizations as well. So IP Singh, I think that's a valid point to be made, that if this entire legislative process is not really above board, then it fails the purpose with which this body has been set up.
देखिए मारिया, जो बीजेपी सरकार है उसकी नीयत बहुत खराब है और बराबर इस देश में सांप्रदायिकता के आधार पर बीजेपी काम करती है, उसके नेता काम करते हैं। जिस तरह से वक्फ बोर्ड की जो लाखों एकड़ जमीन है उस पर बीजेपी की निगाहें हैं। सबसे पहले एनआरसी लाकर वो उनकी मुसलमानों की नागरिकता छीन लेना चाहते थे। अब जो उनकी संपत्ति है, जो दौलत है, वो बीजेपी उसे छीन लेना चाहती है। लेकिन थैंक्स गॉड, भगवान की कृपा है कि बहुमत बीजेपी को नहीं मिला और बैसाखी जो है श्री चंद्रबाबू नायडू और श्री नीतीश कुमार की है और ये चाहकर भी बहुत कुछ नहीं कर सकते। और आप देखिए 10 साल के बाद इनको वापस लेना पड़ा और जेपीसी की तरफ से गए हैं। और जो फर्जी डिग्रीधारी दुबे हैं, इनसे अगर पूछिए कि चीन का इन्वेजन हुआ, चीन ने हमारी हजारों एकड़, हजारों किलोमीटर हमारी लैंड एक्वायर कर लिया, उस पर पूछिए तो कुछ नहीं बोलेंगे। लेकिन आईएसआई, पाकिस्तान और चीन की बात तो कर रहे हैं। कुल मिलाकर नियत बीजेपी की खराब है। बीजेपी ये जमीन छीन लेना चाहती है।
प्रदीप भंडारी is being questioned. If the JPC actually receives the response which is just around 1.2%, then why look for these kind of conspiracies?
Well, Maria, had the intent been questioned by a credible player, I would have taken it seriously. The gentleman belongs to a political party which had pleaded in the Honorable High Court to remove the cases of terror against the Ayodhya and Varanasi blast accused. The gentleman belongs to a political party which is backing an individual called Mohit Khan who raped a 14-year-old daughter. So I will take this criticism and this opinion from a political lens, not from a genuine credible lens. I did not interrupt you. IPG, please have the patience. Maria, I was not interrupting all.
IP Singh जी जरा सुन लीजिए।
लखनऊ में 4
IP Singh जी,
5 साल की बेटी को
IP Singh जी, IP Singh जी, IP Singh जी, मैं आपके पास आऊंगी, पहले उनकी भी बात सुन लीजिए, मैं आपके पास आऊंगी। जी प्रदीप भंडारी।
IPG, I understand that facts are bitter. IPG, I understand the facts are bitter and I will speak the facts. Maria, again I will reiterate, this is the NDTV report from 2016 where Zakir Naik was seen with Digvijay Singh and Digvijay Singh was praising Zakir Naik. We believe in the integrity of the process, Maria. Yet again I will repeat, Mr. Dubey did not say that the number of suggestions should not be welcome. Mr. Dubey reiterated that the entire sanctity of the process should be maintained. Whether it is a Hindu who is giving an opinion or a Muslim or a Christian, all are welcome. The question is this exercise being used by certain actors who do not believe in the integrity of India, who do not wish good for the India in order to mobilize a political opinion, mobilize a political narrative for their own vested interest? I do believe that if a member of parliament has facts in his possession and he's written a letter to the JPC, he is an equal member of the JPC like any other member. Tomorrow, suppose an opposition member has an opinion, has a concern, they can also raise it to the JPC. The issue is that if the member has raised an opinion, the members of the opposition party are using this as an opportunity to consolidate their vote bank. Whereas the member said that the entire exercise of JPC should not be conducted, he's welcomed it. He's only pointing out that it should be investigated whether elements like Zakir Naik are involved in this. If that is true, then it is not in the interest of the country, because this exercise of JPC, as the learned constitutional expert said, is not a mobilization of political and counter-political opinion. It's about getting genuine feedback.
Yes. So I have just enough time for Danish Qureshi and IP Singh. 1 minute to both of you. If the content is being repetitive, that's what he's pointing out, the BJP MP has pointed out. And he's also talking about how there have been efforts in the past of destabilizing India's interests. So that has also, these are facts on which he is saying. Of course, it's the subject of investigation. So running away from investigation or saying that the investigation is not the right process may not be in the interest of anyone. Would you not agree, Danish Qureshi? That if there are proxies, ISI or China or those countries or groups which are against India, then they should be investigated.
बट लेकिन मैं ये कहना चाहूंगा मारिया, आप मेरी बात समझिए। मेरा कहने का मतलब ये है कि आप देखिए, जब से वक्फ बिल जब आया, टेबल पे जब आया, तभी से मुसलमान विरोध कर रहा था उसका, और विपक्ष भी विरोध कर रहा था। जाकिर नायक का कुछ भी स्टैंड आया है वो तो काफी बाद में आया है, लेकिन उससे पहले ही आपको विरोध तो दिखाई दे रहा था। अब हुआ ये है कि अगर जाकिर नायक ने कुछ किया है तो मैं तो ये कह रहा हूँ कि भारत सरकार उसको पकड़े लाए और जेल में डाल दे।
IP Singh, 30 seconds.
देखिए, जिस जाकिर नाइक को लेकर बात होती है, उस जाकिर नाइक को संरक्षण किसने दे रखा? मलेशिया के प्रधानमंत्री ने। वो प्रधानमंत्री जो एक हिंदू को सीधे इस्लाम धर्म स्वीकार करवाते हैं। प्रधानमंत्री जी, हमारे प्रधानमंत्री मोदी जी एक बार ऑब्जेक्ट नहीं करते, एक बार मलेशिया से नहीं कहा कि जाकिर नाइक को भारत को हैंडओवर करिए। तो जो डबल स्टैंडर्ड है बीजेपी का, दो चेहरे बीजेपी के हैं, वो देश के सामने हैं कि अगर सांप्रदायिकता के आधार पर
सरकार
I think it deserves urgent attention that is being brought about here, whether we look at it politically or otherwise. Thank you so much for joining us, Pradeep Bhandari, Danish Qureshi and IP Singh.